finds a range, he's as good as he get on the starting line.
Eddie Granacci, the crew chief for Matt Hartford. The year that they have long wanted. Matt Hartford was a guy who would win one race a year, and that was kind of his MO. Well, not this year. He broke out with 4 victories.
You can see that both cars are lined up right where they did the burnout. They feel that that is the best place in terms of grip.
Stanfield left very well, 31 to 48. Does Hartford have enough KB horsepower to get to the finish line first? It is Aaron Stanfield, 6:53.4, beating Matt Hartford on a whole shot. That 0:31 reaction time, margin of victory, 0.02 of a second.
Yeah, an 0:31 for Aaron Stanfield, not great, but in this case, good enough. It was Matt Hartford, just second off the line. You expect more in the final round, but you know, a lot of times these drivers, when they get to this point of the race and they know they have a built-in advantage, you know, they have a tendency to lay up. That may be the case with Matt Hartford. You know, there's always the clutch and some of the settings, the way they adjust it. But either way you slice it, it's Aaron Stanfield off the mark first.
Very nice job for Aaron Stanfield. Adding on to his already impressive resume, he was the FlexJet Factory Stock Showdown World Champion in 2023, a category that he has now won multiple World Championships in, but he collects his 8th career victory in his 15th career final round. This is how smooth it was for Hartford, but it just wasn't quite quick enough. He was gaining on him, but it was 0.02 of a second too late to arrive at the finish line. Gage Herrera is once again with a man and a Busick.
Gage, you're now holding your 11th Wally of the season. You were the world champion already on Saturday. You have to think that the rest of this class is going to be ready for you and coming for you.
14-point advantage over Eddie Krawick. He won 5 of the 6 countdown races, nearly went full Torrance on him this year in the countdown. He only missed the first one. Amanda Busick is back at the top end of the racetrack as we take that last lingering look of our Lucas Oil Pro Stock Motorcycle points. Let's talk to Aaron Stanfield, the Pro Stock winner.
Aaron, well, you told us that you believed in your hot rod here in this final, and I know that you have a baby on the way at any moment as well. I would think this would be a pretty nice gift to hand over.
This is a pretty nice gift. Thank you to my wife. You know, she's ready to pop at home, and you know, it's very, very special to be able to get this done at the last race. And I got to thank all my guys that work on my hot rod. They give me the best thing they can give me. And Janik Brothers, JC3 Energy, Elite Motorsports, Melling. Couldn't do it without any of these guys. And I'm just very thankful. Thank you.
The best thing about Aaron Stanfield, as far as a racer goes, his car speaks for him. He is not a verbose man, but he is a giant behind the wheel, whether it's Factory Stock Showdown, Top Dragster, or Pro Stock. Eric Anders, the world champion with a 104-point margin of victory at the end of the season. Matt Hartford ends up 3rd, just behind Greg Anderson, changing a 6th-place finish from last year and moving him up into that top 3, a prestigious spot in Pro Stock Eliminator. Christian Quadra rounds out the top 10. Pope Under's performance today broke him into the top 10 to close the season. He came in just outside that number. The NHRA Safety Safari is prepping the racetrack for top fuel. Leah Pruitt is in her car, the canopy open. Doug Coletta is in his car. Neil Strasbaugh, the crew chief for Leah Pruitt, a man who told me a few weeks ago on the NHRA Insider podcast that in the high-pressure situations, he wants the ball. He's got it. He's with Bruno.
Brian just said that in high-pressure situations, you want the ball. What doesn't get any more pressure than you sitting on right now, and you got a smile on your face. You got to love it. How are you feeling right now as you know, a few moments here to kind of dial in the track and make that last setup for the season?
Yeah, the track's great. Obviously, the sun's gone down a little bit. We've got shade over. So, no, it's just, obviously, it's exciting to be a part of it. You know, AJ and that Coletta group over there, they've had their ball in their court, a time or two in their hands. So I'm just thrilled to be a part of it. We'll go up here and give it the best shot we can.
I know you guys were in the 70s in that last round. Conditions have gotten drastically better. Sun has come off the track. You've got the grip numbers up. What are you expecting in terms of numbers? What you're going to have to put down in here to get this championship and get this win here in Pomona?
Land on the drivers, who gets off the starting line. But this is not a one-person sport. This is every bit of a team effort. Right now, the focus is what are the track conditions going to hold? But there's no question they're going to go back to their notebook, what they ran in qualifying, and they're going to look at those very aggressive numbers. We're going to see the quickest runs of the day in this final round.
See, the light trucks have been fired up here. The temperature just shy of 80 degrees. The track temperature 91, and it peaked around 110, which really is not out of the realm of performance or reason over the course of hotter weekend. We'll see track temperatures in the 130 and 40 degree range, but for
and today is the day we need to finish it. Daniel Wilkerson tell me that right now we're a couple hundredths behind Dad going into this final round, but we're throwing the works at it. The kitchen sink and everything else we can find, we're going at it because we're going to go down swinging if we're going to go down.
Makes sense. Chad Green does have a national event victory, but it came behind the wheel of his Pro Modified car. 34 of them, his last one coming in Seattle, Washington this year. The Skag Power Equipment, Levi Ray and Shout Mustang, has been good. Chad Green, though, when I look at the raw performance, yes, they may be a couple of hundredths behind in raw performance data, but that human performance does favor Chad.
Well, look, they need only to go back to what they did in the last qualifying run. They out-qualified Tim Wilkerson.
Yes.
They saved their best for the last shot, that 389. There's no doubt about it. They're going to go to those notes. They're going to potentially put the clutch settings exactly where they were during that run. There's always a chance they could try to polish that up a little, get the car to run quicker. In the past, it's run as quick as 386. So right now, I'm sure that they realize that right now, Tim Wilkerson has the edge coming into this final.
It is, as we talked about the other day, the undercard moment of the final of this afternoon. This is a great heavyweight undercard fight, but the real fight sitting right behind him around the corner. Here comes the funny car final. Both Chad Green and Tim Wilkerson complete their burnouts. Beautiful shot by our drone operator, Tom Stout, here in the Pep Boys drone. As we continue to wind our way to the end of this season, it'd be remiss if I didn't thank so many people involved in our NA with a snoot full of nitro. This is Randy Farrow's look from the starting line. Tony, his vantage point often requires a nose over an open header.
Well, look, hey, Randy's braver than I am at this stage. I mean, he gets a taste. He gets to feel what it's like when two of these nitro cars go wide open throttle. It is a small earthquake. I'm from Southern California. It's over a 3 on the Richter scale.
There's Randy in his chosen place of work. Phil Schuler looks on, turns around. Chad Green's car moving over. Jared Franklin, our jib operator in the starting line, an incredible talent. A veteran, much like his brother Josh, who's been working our jib camera.
There's a car leaning out on the starting
line.
A little peculiar. The team was looking. It may have been Wilkerson.
Daniel saying that one's on me. He was just pointing to his chest like that was me. So whether he might have leaned on the link, I mean, if you're leaning on the linkage, you got big problems. But something was going on.
Yeah, at this stage, everything seems to be normal. Back to normal.
The final round of the final race in Nitro Funny Car of 2023. Chad Green's out first by a bunch. They get to the finish line stripe, and it's Chad Green. 391.6 on a whole shot, a 33 light, and these guys are going to pigpile themselves on the starting line. Daniel Wilkerson, Dean Marinas, their entire crew
What a fantastic end to their year. That's how it started for Chad Green. He was at the top of the list all year long. In terms of reaction time, he took care of business on the starting line. The tuner helped him out a little bit, gave him a better car, but still a 100th of a second. But we can clearly see the difference on the starting line. This is a driver that wanted it, and he wanted it real bad.
Dan Wilkerson's with Bruno, and he might be levitating down there.
Yeah, Dan Wilkerson, let's just say he is taking in this moment, and for good reason. He just went out there, he beat his dad, he gave his team owner and his driver his first ever win behind the wheel of a Nitro Funny car, and this was special for so many reasons. And for the man behind the wheel, he doubled up with his son. What does it feel like for you? What are you going through emotion-wise right now?
I'm empty, man. I got nothing left. To make that come true for them guys, I've been dreaming of winning a race with my dad for 10 years, 15 years. To get Chad and Hunter to be able to do that, yeah, I'm almost speechless, man. These kids on this car work so hard. Hey, don't go anywhere without me. Stop that Tahoe. They worked their butts off to make it happen for them. I'm stoked. I'm stoked. Thank you.
Hey. Hunter Green on the right side, that is Chad's son, and here comes Big Chad Green of Midland, Texas, climbing out of the race car. Gonna give Tim Wilkerson a hug, and honestly, he wouldn't be here without Tim Wilkerson.
No, he really wouldn't. But, you know, Chad Green is just, he's straight out of a Western movie, a pistolier, very sharp, very keen. You can see just the respect. But, you know, I mean, how better can the season end when your son and the experience that they have together is able to win, and that puts more pressure on you because he knows he's in the final. Couldn't have worked out better for Chad Green.
Let's watch again. We watched that 033 light. He took care of business up there.
Yeah, I mean, that's really the difference right there. See the header flames and just quicker reaction time for Chad Green, and he's just, you know, he was hearing the footsteps. He knew that it was going to be a tough race, and like we've talked about all day, some of these drivers, when they know that they're going to be in a tough haul, they try to make up some of the difference on the starting line. It's a payback to the team that has done such a good job.
Mean Joe Green? Yeah, we don't got one of those. We got something better. We got a big old Chad Green, and he's down there with Amanda Busick.
And Brian, he keeps looking in the distance because he knows his team's going to be here at any moment. And Chad, in your 50th race, your son just won in Top Alcohol Dragster ahead of this, and you won this on a whole shot, your first Wally. You are a Nitro Funny Car winner. How long have you waited to hear that?
Well, we've been waiting all season. We've been working hard for this all season. I have to say it's been an amazing season for us, and I can't think of a better way to end it than this right here. And on top of it, my son got the win today, so we got the double up. So there's going to be some double up party tonight, let me tell you.
Woo! Yeah! And here comes the crew. As we are heading into the off season, I'm telling you to go back and listen to this. You can go back and listen to Tony and I with Chad Green on the NHRA Insider Live. We did it in the pits yesterday, and watching it after this day has happened, it's phenomenal. There's Dean Marinas with his sunglasses on. He and Chad have such a strong relationship, and Dan Wilkerson, they work so well as a unit. The only guy in the class bigger than him just put his hands around his neck.
That's right. Best news for Chad Green, free refills at In-N-Out.
And now we come to what may be, and really what is, a general moment in Top Fuel Eliminator. Because in this moment, we will see the culmination of a life's work on either side of the racetrack. The life's work of a woman who began in junior dragsters at this racetrack, or the life's work of a man who 9,415 days ago, on February 1st, 1998, first staged a Top Fuel dragster at this racetrack at the Winter Nationals and lost in the first round. From that day forward, the question has always been, when's this guy going to win a title?
Look at the bottom side of the screen. Doug Coletta really making a pretty good adjustment to the outside. It appears that that's where they want this car to launch. But it all starts with the team that is so efficient. They don't make mistakes. Then a lot of the pressure is going to fall on the tuners. And all those decisions with the clutch, with the fuel system, how they set the cars up, how aggressive they're going to make them for this final round. And, of course, when everybody walks away, it's going to fall on the shoulders of two drivers.
Alan Johnson standing stoically behind the dragster with his arms crossed. Neil Strasbaugh, Mike Magala move to the rear of their car, as does Brian Houston. This is the final of Top Fuel, and a new champion is to be crowned. Into the night they go, and the win light comes on for Doug Coletta. 364 miles an hour. The wait is over. Doug Coletta is a world champion of Top Fuel drag racing. Connie is on the property. And the man who delivered Doug Coletta's lowest moment of his career here has delivered his highest.
Well, if the car didn't perform, they went to the well. Once again, the car responded. If the car didn't respond, the driver padded this win right here by the reaction time. Got a couple of hundreds off the starting line for Doug Coletta. What a good run. What a masterpiece of driving. And for the team that is just so good, we hear it all the time from a lot of drivers, best team in the world. This may be one of the best teams in drag racing that we have seen this year.
Leah Pruitt has nothing to hang her head over. She was 64 in the tree. Performed to a 372, but it finally, after so many different twists and turns in a negative fashion, Bruno, it has come to fruition that this man, who is so deserved, has become a Top Fuel champion.
Well, it is absolute bedlam here on the starting line right now, as you would imagine, because for so many years, Doug Coletta has been known as the best driver to never win a Nitro championship, and now thanks to the man who is shaking hands with everyone right now, Alan Johnson, Doug Coletta is now a Top Fuel world champion, and you played such a huge role in that. What was your thought process coming up here for this final?
You know, we've struggled a little bit, so fucking awesome. And I'm glad Doug finally got that championship.
Congratulations, Alan.
Thank you so much.
Doug Coletta has removed his mouthpiece. Let's watch it again. What a moment, Tony. I mean, what a moment. And all these years in coming. Brian Houston with his crew celebrating with the folks from Toyota as well. There's Connie. and if there is anything about this that rings maybe sweetest of all, wow. Champion Doug Coletta.
Doug Coletta takes the handshake from President of the NHRA, Glenn Cromwell, getting the winner's medal and the race win. The hat presentation by Ned Walliser. Brian, he was beaming with a smile up here before he took that walk down the NHRA champion carpet. You can hear the applause up here. And Doug, this is a moment for the history of drag racing. I imagine there is a community of drag race fans that are on their feet right now. You were greeted by the safety safari as you made it up to the top end with claps. 26 seasons, 6 runner-ups, and this guy is yours. What kept you pushing for this moment?
Yeah, no, it's hard to believe. I dream about this opportunity, and when we're here. So just really hats off to Alan and Brian and everybody on my team, and obviously all the fans, and support that I've gotten. So we're taking this baby back to Ypsilanti with Scott and Connie's. Scott's won this thing a couple times, so I'll be wearing it proud.
Doug Coletta is your 2023 Top Fuel World Champion.
An incredible moment there in this line as Connie Coletta has been surrounded. Doug Coletta's wife now throwing her arms around Connie as Doug is now going to celebrate with the championship trophy. So measured in the comments, so measured in how he handles everything with such class and dignity. He has greeted the lowest times of his career without a sneer, and he has accepted this championship without a gloat.
Oh, it's nothing short of impressive, nothing short of amazing. And any driver will tell you, whether it's Top Fuel or Nitro Funny Car, that Doug Coletta is one of the highest level drivers that we've ever seen compete. And, as fate would have it, he came close a couple of times. The competition year to year is great. This is high stakes, high level racing. And Doug Coletta, it was almost as if Alan Johnson owed him this championship.
And lest we forget, this whole thing began when a tire blew up in the car that was the primary car. It forced them into a backup car, which was the best thing, literally, that ever happened to this guy. Wow, the final points tally as Gage Herrera, a fellow champion, gets to greet Doug Coletta, both wearing their White hats, Chad Green also rushing up, as is Eric Anders. Note the position, folks. There's a 1 next to his name. He has defeated the field by 47 total points. Leah Pruitt finishes third, 56 back. Justin Ashley, Mike Salinas, Antron Brown, Brittany Force, Austin Prock, Tony Schumacher, and Josh Hart